Okay.
Ooh. They're trying to... Okay, this Valentina pick, definitely something that I did not expect, but from what it looks like, it does seem like they're just trying to take it away from BTR, and it turns out it's a gourd pick for BTR. So, exactly what the Key2V said. Put Moreno on damage-dealing picks.
Thank you, Sans, for inspiring Moreno.
Come on.
Thank you, Naisu, for inspiring all the gourd players.
Suelo was the first person to use gourd.
Oh, you're right!
Competitively, yeah, you're
And before Suelo,
so thank you, Suelo.
Naisu.
Naisu.
Suelo had to watch Naisu, right? Had 100%.
Shout out, Dad.
Shout out Naisu.
Naisu.
He's a nice person.
He's not Dad? I thought everyone calls him Dad. Anyway.
Dad? He's
Yeah.
alive.
Not like... Counter index, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Analysts, help me out here.
Yeah, late game potential definitely for the side of BTR. Even though they have a winning matchup in the gold lane, Bruno does scale quite well into the late game too. And they've got a gourd. They've got a solid front to back.
So with a Lord... No, not a Lord. A gourd pickup first up here for a Bigetron Alpha. Will they be able to dominate and adjust to their keys to victory in this first game of this best of 3 series between the Sons of the Gods as well as the Red Robots in Bigetron?
Mobile Legends.
It's a full house in MPL Arena. Let's see who will strike first in this best of 3.
Wow, it is.
It is.
It wasn't earlier. I literally did not realize everybody just come in here, but
I honestly thought I was being sarcastic.
me too. Turns out he's not. Ghani's real, man.
Rion, the real
Very
person.
early. Flicker already.
Wow, Rion harassing, but it seems like he will have to be punished here, 2v1. But it buys time here. Supercan will not have the rotation on par. But yeah, that's first blood for Mr. Supercan.
Already very early on here. It will negate him in terms of the rotations, just as you mentioned, but it does give him a little bit of leeway in terms of gold. But you can see now Gary already going for the contest for the Lethal Wanderer.
See here again, Lethal Wanderer. Gary won that one, but it seems like Gary will jump and invade the jungles of Supercan. Supercan will look. No! Daytona's welcome already. Gary got it. Now that was the stun for the Super Key. But it seems like now Gary will be taken out, punished. Not Super Key, but Gary will find a mark on towards Key. So that's a 1-for-1.
That was personal. He didn't have to invade like that. He didn't have to commit fully onto that. I mean, even in terms of levels, he's already 2 levels ahead, but that was something, I would say.
Emotions are running wild here for sure. We did see, even in the interview, Gary definitely has a personal vendetta up against Mr. Ken in the jungle. But it has to be worth it for BTR. Despite that steal, you're not really going to be able to hold on to the buffs you steal if you die. But it is worth it for DEWA in a way where they have a level lead. Now 2 levels actually for Gary. It's still BTR who holds the gold lead. But if Gary can pick this up, he can equalize once again.
See, 4v4 now. Not level 4 yet, but Torizo opens with the penalty zone that helps Supercan securing the turtle. Gary quite low. Take a look at Dixon now trying to punish and finds his stun on towards Seal. Oh, Mystic Gush will not be able to take Torizo down. That's first turtle in the hands of Bigetron.
All right, so already a little bit of, I would say, dominance in this early game that you would expect that DEWA United to have, right? With the Matilda as well as Keys. The Valentina is also a very fast-clearing mid laner, but even so, there's been a lot more promise for Bigetron in these neutral objectives. Why?
Terizla, an amazing setup enabler that we have been talking about that has been Dixon's favorite hero as well when it comes to setting up for the team and taking that away from Dixon, putting it in the hands of someone like Torizo. Hold up!
I'm offended with the help of the Mystic Gush. Moreno secures another kill for Bigetron.
Yeah, even though Gary had the level lead, right? Really, with the penalty zone, with Key there as well, with the Don't Run Wolf King, they have layers and layers of CC. But hold up.
Welcome, Moreno caught off guard. Flicker to get out of the way. That was a outplay, potentially, from Bigetron.
It really was, man. They just don't want me to talk. I'm sorry. Eman, though, with the weapon mastery, a very interesting emblem choice. We usually see the Tenacity or the Master Assassin, but for Eman, he's actually relying on that late game. So he knows that DEWA will want to play in that bottom side. He wants to just build up.
Oh, another engage there from DEWA United, which BIGETRON, they were able to deflect it.
Man, Gary's just been very aggressive this game. He's been picking up left and right. Not to fruition all the time, but it's already a level of aggression that BIGETRON Alpha need to consider. But despite all that, BIGETRON still hold the gold lead here at 1K, as both of these teams are going to be collapsing on the next neutral objective. An important thing to note is Gary is level 7, Super Ken is a level below, but oh,
That's a whip from Key. Now let's see the collapse by DEWA United. Dixon jumps in with the bravest fighter, gets stunned though. Let's see, BIGETRON, they are retreating, but Chorizo with the penalty zone trying for looking for an engage, but it seems like the damage will not come through as Dixon now quite low and actually punished by Key. It's a 5v4, but DEWA, take a look at the health bars. They're okay, and BIGETRON, they are the ones who need to recover.
yeah, but Dixon's gone at the moment. I don't think that any of them want to go for a contest here. Chorizo's just poking fun, trying to sniff out the enemy opponent, give information towards his team, but it's going to be a full reset for both of these teams.
I don't think it's going to be worth it for DEWA. They should have just chosen maybe to go for the turtle there. Gary was a level ahead, so they would have had an advantage anyways. And like Gani said, they had the HP advantage. Not on Gary, but on the other members. Now the BTR got a kill advantage and are going for the turtle. It might be BTR's to take.
Take a look at top lane action actually, right? Bruno retreated, but take a look at the turtle pit. Retribution this time, Gary will wins it. And it is actually BIGETRON that is forcing a fight. He's quite low, but no casualties on the board, just the turtle.
And that's going to be a secured turtle, like you mentioned earlier on, right? With the level lead, they finally do commit. And BIGETRON Alpha, I think they were looking for some sort of trade. Didn't quite get that, but meanwhile, on the top side.
Oh, it's a nasty bravest fighter, but Amon this time will survive. And that is, again, another trade that was deflected.
That was such a kind of like cool move. He just stood there, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for the last slice to come through, held down on his flicker. And this rotation, by the way, for BTR, sending Eman up top. I'm not too sure about this, actually. I think it might be a bit more beneficial to DEWA because Carry was able to get a few more gold minions compared to Eman. XP-wise, though, it should be good for Eman. Though, it does seem like they are just trying desperately now to get their hands on the turrets. If they get this turret here, then it'll be worth it. Ken picks up that purple buff, and now they are even in levels. Gary still slightly has the advantage there in XP. But with Chorizo in the bottom lane, this is the only disadvantage for DEWA. Though you will get more farm, you will not hit that turret on Carry.
Ooh, but Eman is going to munch on another turret here in the top side. Looks like Super Ken and Key are going to set that up for him as well. Not going to be any compensation from DEWA United to punish this unless Dixon's already on the way there. Does he get him? I don't think he does.
Rotation-wise, DEWA United, they're on the back foot. And BIGETRON Alpha, again, they're able to capitalize, almost taking the inner turret top side. But let's see. DEWA United, yeah, again, I need to see more proactiveness from this team.
But even despite the lack of proactiveness that you were mentioning, Gary has consistently been a level ahead of Super Ken, who quote-unquote replaced him in BIGETRON Alpha. So this is already a big flex so far in the first 7 minutes of the game. I don't know if Super Ken can actually catch up to this because here it is. This is going to be the next fight. Who's going to get it?
1-for-1 for Turtle. Now let's see. Gary Daytona's welcome, but it will be Gary this time, taking the Turtle down. Moreno will be the first one to fall. Key, it's going down next, but it seems like now DEWA United are confident. They're moving onwards, and Super Ken with the Prince's Wrath looking to grab more space. It's a 5v3 now, as it seems like the mid turret might fall. BIGETRON, they want to defend this, but it seems like the resources won't be enough.
That's what we get with the Barats, and Gary, like you mentioned, absolutely performing on this pick. All the way from the start, invading the enemy jungle, but then, unfortunately, first turtle, unable to secure it, but ever since then, he has really started to get back into the zone, using the Detonus Welcome always to target Super Ken, and for BTR, nobody there to stand in front of Super Ken to tank the Detonus Welcome to give Ken more of a fair chance to 50-50 it. This is what makes the Barats so lethal in these neutral objective contests, and because of that, it's a 1.7k gold lead now built for DEWA. Instantly, that 1 or 2k gold lead for BTR disappeared.
Setup here, potentially from both of the teams. 5 players already, but it seems like they do not want business yet. They want to reset and wait for the First Lord in this game.
Still 40 seconds away, and that entire gold lead has swung in favor of DEWA United. When we're talking about waiting, are there things that we need to wait for? Power spikes, item spikes.
Well, for sure for the Bruno, we were waiting for that Melphic Roar that he's on the way to go for already, but the 1,000 gold lead that the carry has on him, something that I did mention earlier, when it comes to farm, that rotation from Irman to go to XP wasn't actually worth it in that matchup because it does give carry so much more of an advantage when it comes to that farm, not bullied at all. But also, gotta give credit to the carry for actually going for Thunderbelt here in a match that she gets bullied in. You go for the Thunderbelt, you get more sustainability so that you can farm and reach that power spike. And because she was able to survive the early onslaught, he's actually a level ahead of Eman. And Eman will have to do a bit more of some intelligent farming to catch up. It's DEWA's game to win right now with the carry already farmed up like this.
Unfortunately so, but oh, he's going for a conceal here.
Good spot by Drian and Watt here. Taking more space. Oh, Mystic Gush! Flickered from Drian, but it seems like Watt finds a flank here. Oh, another Mystic Gush from Valentina. And it's actually the collapse. Double kill from Dixon. And another man, that is Super Ken, will be taken out. And that is DEWA United claiming a statement in this game.
The counter setup coming in from DEWA United. I don't think that they thought that the damage output coming in from the Mystic Gush would be there. But Drian, he didn't even get taken down, and they repeated it with Keys being able to take the Mystic Gush back with the IMU. That was just so beautiful with the flicker as well. That just collapsed so well like dominoes.
That was perfect for DEWA. The bait with the Matilda and Watt being there to punish with skill 1. So basically, with Moreno's using already his Mystic Gush, they weren't really going to be able to do much back. And it was actually DEWA who were able to just shred through. And this is an advantage that the carry has compared to the Bruno. Oh, there's a pick.
All this time from BIGETRON. Again, Drian survived the Mystic Gush. And now BIGETRON, they are low on resources. But let's say this is the First Lord though. DEWA, I feel like their main objective is just to take down all the inners, which is just one left standing.
Yeah, the Lord is instantly shredded there. No biggie. They have Moreno, they have Amon as well. Really good damage coming through. I'm wondering if they can get this mid-side turret alongside as Gary will actually still escape here. But no, they only lose that top side and the bottom side.
So that's a good, the positive outcome from that BIGETRON defense. But yeah, it's still a 5,000 gold lead though.
Back to the point for the carry matchup against the Bruno. For Bruno, it's gonna be a bit later where he can shred the frontliners. Meanwhile, for carry, even though maybe the power spike won't be as strong when we're talking about pure damage, when we're talking about just dealing damage to frontliners, carry actually still wins out there because of the true damage built in her kit, plus the Thunderbelt true damage as well. So that's why we've been seeing DEWA just targeting the frontline. These team fights have been going in a way where DEWA don't care about the backline really because their frontline can tank better than BTR's.
And with that being said, I mean, I guess that initial goal that they wanted to go for, the Bruno Snowball, it didn't really quite work out for them. So there is still definitely a possibility for BIGETRON Alpha to come back into this game. If we take a look at the real-time victory rate, still 35% chance at this point. You know, anything still can happen. DEWA United still need to remain focused as well as consistent. But even then, how do they find an opening if DEWA United seem like they already know what kind of plays that BIGETRON are looking out for?
I think right now, for BTR, the only thing they can really do is just farm it out. Play for the later stage, which they obviously still have, but DEWA can really snowball. You can see this gold lead for the carry. 1,300 gold lead for the carry, and for Gary, 2 levels ahead. He actually used a retribution here, but nothing is there to really punish him. He can walk up and get out so easily because number one, he's tanky, he has anti-CC built in his kit, and second, he has a Matilda. So even if BTR go in on Gary, he can just walk out and spam that emote. The BTR emote on BTR, the team that sacked him.
Again, it's just so much drama happening right now.
And it's not over yet.
Nope. There's just so much context going on. Okay, Gary level 15. We have Super Ken, that's 2 levels below. I hadn't realized that's a big advantage that DEWA United will be holding here. And unless BIGETRON Alpha can set this up properly, this should be DEWA United's Lord to win.
Let's see. Far lane controlled by DEWA. BIGETRON, will they force this fight? It seems like the answer is yes with the conceal. Gary though,
Dixon.
Dayton is welcome. Dixon in the backside with the bravest fighter. Force him on to use the flicker, but Superken will die in the process. Key now, taking some heat, flickers out of the way, but Torizo in the front side, isolated, taken down. And that is BIGETRON in shambles.
Oh man, that's literally all the members now up here for DEWA United, and no casualties whatsoever. And that was nearly a disaster, honestly, for DEWA United, because as everything was happening on the top side, Gary was taken really low by Torizo.
Played to perfection for DEWA United. The way that they played that team fight from Dixon as well, not committing fully onto the back. He jumped in, used the bravest fighter, another pick-off attempt.
Oh, let's say Dixon still holding on, but the Mystic Gush will melt him down. Oh, Keys! Cheeky Mystic Gush, but cancelled. Key now, taking some heat, survives. So that's a trade from BIGETRON.
Was that necessary?
From Dixon? No, it was not really necessary, but it did give Gary another free purple buff. So you make the move here. Is it worth it, Dixon's life, for the purple buff? I think it's actually not bad now that we look at it, because Dixon's going to be up very, very soon. As long as it doesn't interfere with what DEWA have planned to push into BTR's base, it should be okay, because they are able to get gold away from Superken, from the frontliners, and really, that's the main problem here for BTR, not having tanky enough frontliners. If BTR are able to actually withstand the damage, because in these team fights, you should already start to see Iman and Moreno deal damage, but that's why DEWA are not really entertaining the idea of trying to shut down Iman and Moreno. They're mainly shutting down the frontliners so that the frontline, front-to-front kind of composition that DEWA are playing at will be successful for them.
And it makes sense, right? And now, DEWA United, they're knocking onto the base of BIGETRON here in the 16th minute of the game, looking to end it here and now as Drian flies in very aggressively. Will they find their opening?
Let's see. Seems like the turret has been taken down. BIGETRON now trying to take care of the Lord. They will find it. Oh, they move onwards here. Looking for a pick potentially. But no, again, that was a good offense, but I think DEWA United could have gone more.
They're not forcing it.
There's no real reason to force for DEWA. They have a 7.6k gold lead. They have all the tempo in the world. And it's BTR who are forced to group up to even go on their own purple buff. And even then, I don't even think they will be able to take this purple buff. Though, for BTR, this slow game is beneficial for them as a team that is behind. Gary,
catches two. Oh, Dixon, beautiful, beautiful setup now. Mystic Gush popped Emma now in trouble in the backside. Good knock up onto it too. But it seems like the damage will not be enough to take enemy members down. No, Torizo left open in the front and will be punished instantly by Watt.
And that's the thing, because we've been highlighting so many other players from DEWA United. And of course, when Watt is in the vicinity, when he's in the building, you can't underestimate that damage and that level of experience he has on a hero like the carry. And you saw what he was able to do. So Rizzo, his entire idea just shattered before his eyes.
This is what makes the Matilda so lethal, right? The fact that you can go in so deep, yet jump back as easily as you dived in. So many maneuverable abilities here for the side of DEWA. Gary as well, we saw a very nice initiation from him onto Superken, but then Drian got him out. So even when Torizo went for the penalty zone flicker, he was outmaneuvered in that scenario. He jumped onto nothing, technically. BTR at this point, it's a desperate attempt to go for the Lord, but Superken this time is a bit more at a 50-50 kind of position with him being at level 15. Lord evolved as well.
They reset the Lord. They didn't go for it.
They were waiting.
Let's reset it again.
Yeah, DEWA United do not want to gamble here.
Oh, look at Dixon though.
Good positioning, BIGETRON. They're looking to grab more space. DEWA United with the conceal now from BIGETRON. Gary though, Daytona's welcome. Oh, now Immortality, but the Mystic Gush in the backside actually. Oh, Winner's Truncheon to save his life. He flickers out, but Gary again! Man, this guy's a monster on the retry. But now Key looking for a trade, does not get it. No casualties on the board, but the Lord will be taken by DEWA United.
My God, the Matilda has been so annoying Did you see how deep Dixon went? And despite all that, he didn't get taken down whatsoever. He was able to deter, put damage, and just completely disable the back line of BIGETRON and remained unscathed whatsoever. And this is a 5-man push with the Lord as well.
The problem remains the same for BTR, right? DEWA are playing this so well. They know they can take damage. Hold up.
Oh, Drian loses immortality, but the Mystic Gush will secure the kill. BIGETRON, this might be the defense that they need as Gary was taken down as well. Mid turret will fall though, but that's a huge win for the Red Robot side.
Wow, all right, going back to what I said earlier, it's amazing for DEWA because it's exactly what we mentioned earlier. They were playing for their frontliners. But now, only now, or actually in the last team fight, we also saw that Iman, yeah, his damage is starting to stack up. You're seeing the full potential of a Bruno with 0 defensive items. He actually opted to go for Sea Halberd instead of Wind of Nature. So this is a glass cannon Bruno that can deal a lot of damage. DEWA needs to start to respect this now because it is getting quite scary. Even Gary is finally feeling the pain of this full glass cannon Bruno. But for the most part, even in that team fight, they were playing with their sustain so well. They were playing the front to front. The front to front will get outscaled. Remember in the draft index as well, we were talking about how the late game potential will favor BTR for their more diverse source of damage. And the Bruno with the crit build fully stacked like we said. This is also very easily punished though. So unfortunately, they don't have any physical damage divers for DEWA. Really, the only person who can put in physical damage onto Bruno is the carry. So that's the reason he's going Glass Cannon. Nobody can really touch this Bruno. The other side, on the other side though, Moreno also has the winner Truncheon. So they have defensive items where they need the defensive items on. Meanwhile, for DEWA, I'm trying to think about what they have to do to be able to catch Eman, because this threat is lingering and it is going to grow as it gets to a later stage.
But up until this point, I feel like the answer lies with Dixon. And we've seen that through his creativity and his positioning, the way that he goes for flanks. In that previous team fight, during the Lord fight, Dixon was able to find a really good opening onto the backline. That was, quote-unquote, the answer towards Iman. So I understand that it's going to be very difficult. He needs to be very creative, and I think BIGETRON Alpha at this point should have adjusted to that sort of play, but there's still an ongoing danger coming in from Dixon for Iman.
He was a big threat, especially in the early to mid, but as the game gets to a later stage, this is where Dixon starts to fall off because he didn't go for full damage, right? He only went for the Hunter Strike earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really his only source of damage here. The only reason he was able to find all these flanks was because Gary was always so tanky because he was so far ahead compared to Supercan that he could take the shots from Bruno, bait Eman and Moreno out so that Dixon can find that angle. Now that Gary can't tank that much damage anymore, Dixon is susceptible to these kind of ganks.
Oh, good pull here. Dixon has the immortality though. Now with the guiding wind, Drian actually re-engages, finds him on his backside, but no follow-up damage. But Keys with the Mystic Gush cancelled, with the Winter Truncheon as well. Moreno in the backside, flickers out of the way, but Key and as well as Horizono stuck in the front side of the map. What? Free hitting, and look at Drian looking for a flank. Keys though will survive that one, and it's a 5v4 raw battle between these two teams.
No casualties.
No casualties again.
That's crazy. This is an amazing matchup to witness, ladies and gentlemen. DEWA United and BIGETRON Alpha playing it super carefully and at the highest level.
What a crazy team fight, immaculate by both teams.
I love what?
Everybody was playing perfect. Eman with the positioning, but yes, the main star of that team fight was Watt. The way he found an entrance in that team fight. It's super hard as a carry with Brave Smite to find these angles, by the way, but he does. It's also a carry on Brave Smite with no flicker. Usually we see flicker so that he can actually close the gap. Watt's spacing, not his positioning, his spacing has been phenomenal. He's always at the right place. He missed the I'm offended.
Oh, this time, but Keys does not miss it. He now in the backside trying to escape, trying to provide an escape. Oh no! This might be a mistake! What taken down? And now let's see the collapse as Eman, the Filipino gold laner, finds a double. Keys though finds a shutdown, but Moreno will die as collateral. Dixon will fall. Gary and Keys now as a dynamic duo will not be able to find anything as BIGETRON, the Red Robots, What a game! What a composure from the Red Robots.
This isn't good. This isn't good. He does still have his...
Rose gold.
It's not great. It's not looking great at all. The death timers are insane. Luckily for DEWA United, there are minions that still need to be considered. But this is 25 seconds left for Watt. Is it enough time?
I don't think so. The Red Robots, they might take this game. It's a one straight push. Potentially, no. 15. They opted for the Lord.
They have to go for the Lord. There's not going to be enough time
No
for
way.
him to solo the base. It is a
my
Fredrin.
Lord.
If it was Eman, 100% he would have been able to do so. But this should be a free Lord in the hands of BTR. Evolved 24 minutes in.
We were just talking about Watt's spacing. And literally,
And Drian took it.
yep,
It's like no spacing. Just
no
get
spacing.
in there.
Come in, let's die together, and let's lose
Oh, man.
this Lord in the 25th minute of the game.
Oh my God, in true Romeo and Juliet fashion.
Yeah. If you die, I die with you. That was literally Romeo and Juliet. Oh my God, I can't. I'm sorry for saying.
That's a throw.
I'm sorry for
Instant shift.
I just want to tell everybody, I'm sorry for, complimenting his positioning and spacing. Did not mean to do that. And then for him to die like that, it's a coincidence, okay? Chorizo though, but like, okay, I can't help but think, what was the decision there? Why, how?
Overzealousness?
Yeah,
It's like, we can outplay this.
he jumped into the Mystic Gush. Oh man, that
I
was...
don't know. That's just an instant shift in momentum. Now BIGETRON with the 5k gold lead. I mean, at this point, of course, we're already in the later stage of the game. But that Lord is going to be vital for BIGETRON. And they're going to even the leveling field here. Like, at worst, all inhibitor turrets will be taken out. At best, they will be able to take the base turrets along with them.
Love how BTR are actually utilizing the waves, by the way. They're using the super minions on the side first to get these turrets. And the Lord is actually, I don't even want to say, oh, that damage. I don't even want to say slow pushing the mid lane, because this is not even slow pushing, this is sloth pushing? It's even slower than slow.
Ultra slow.
What's slower than slow? I'm struggling to find a word, but basically they are stacking a billion waves in the mid lane as much as they can with the Evolve Lord. They're not looking for a few base turrets a turn, they're looking for the end, but it does come at a cost. The Lord is at half HP.
Potentially the final push. Let's see the defense from DEWA United, who 3 minutes ago, oh my God, Key with the good pull! And the Mystic Gush as well. Keys flickers out, but Dixon now looking for a way to survive. All 5 members here manages to stay up in the game though. Let's see again, the defense from DEWA United, mid-wave pushing on. BIGETRON, they're looking for an angle here. Flicker on the board. It seems like Superken jumps in on towards Gary. The damage though will not be enough just yet, as Chorizo now will be the front line at Superken. And again, looking for the angle. The base now, the main target, and it seems like Keys will fall. And that is supposed to be it. No! DEWA United still holds on for somehow. Dixon though falls, but Moreno will put the nail in the coffin. And BIGETRON Alpha, not yet!
No, they're not. They're not.
yet! Emon's dead! Emon's dead! Let's see, Drian, the what? Sacrificial lamb, question mark?
What?
BIGETRON Alpha, now looking for the end for real. That's Drian. Will be taken now. And the Red Robots, they will strike first in the best of 3.
Watt tried to go for the one-man versus the world play. But unfortunately, it was not enough against all the